I'm Jeff Matlow. Welcome to the best leadership podcast ever. Welcome back to the best leadership podcast ever, where every week we rethink your daily behaviors to help you turn into a leader other people want to follow. My name's Jeff Matlow. I'm a leadership coach for executives and entrepreneurs. And today, I want to talk about the mafia. Because sure, they do bad things. We can agree on that. But they've got one heck of a leadership support network that I think we could all learn from. Do you remember the Shine Box scene in Goodfellas? Did you ever see that movie? In case you don't have the gene that remembers every scene of every Scorsese movie, here's what happens. Joe Pesci, Robert De Niro, and Ray Liotta are mafia guys. They're in a bar having drinks when another mob guy starts making fun of Joe Pesci. You know, he's disrespecting him in front of others, which is bad, especially for a mafia guy. Joe Pesci, understandably, is offended by the mockery and he leaves the bar. And later that night, after most people have left the bar, Pesci comes back, which incidentally never ends well. Pesci proceeds to beat the living bejesus out of the mocking mobster and then shoots him in the face for good measure. But the reason I bring this up isn't because of the actual killing part, it's because of what happened next. With no questions asked and no hesitation whatsoever, Liotta and De Niro's characters help Joe get rid of the body. That's the thing about organized crime. When you kill somebody, your buddies will help you hide the body. No judgment, no shame, no questions asked. Hey, in life, especially adulthood, true friendships are rare. The older you get, the more difficult it is to make and maintain true friendships. So if you have them, treasure them. And when I say true friends, I mean friendships that are built on trust, loyalty, and mutual respect. I'm talking about friendships where you can count on each other no matter what, where you can share all of your ugly without risk of judgment or rejection. True friends are an unconditional support network. They're the ones who immediately send you the money when you say, I desperately need $10,000, but I can't tell you why. True friends are the ones that will help you hide the body. Now, before you go all crazy on me, let me make it clear that I'm not encouraging anybody to commit homicide, nor am I suggesting anybody aid and abet any criminals. All I'm saying is that if there were a hypothetical situation where a dead body needs to be hidden, we could all use a true friend that will help hide it with us. After all, have you ever tried to transport a dead body on your own? I'm telling you, it's not easy. Not that I would know. I mean, I'd imagine it's not. I definitely wouldn't know at all about this type of situation. No way. And I know nothing about dead bodies. Hey, let's move on, okay? One of the biggest problems I had when I was a young leader was the lack of a leadership support network. And now, in my role as an executive coach, I see a lot of other leaders fall victim to the same problem. It's really hard to navigate the loneliness of leadership. The maze is dark. It has a ton of dead ends. And so when I was a younger leader, I was scared. I was self-conscious. I felt like an imposter, like I was the only one who had no idea what he was doing. And I sure wasn't going to proactively reveal my faults and all of my ugly to just about anybody. No way. So I looked for the perfect person to be my support network, the master mentor to guide me. Unfortunately, I could never find the right support network to understand me and be compassionate to my situation. It felt like I was floating on a raft all alone in the middle of the ocean. Kind of like that kid in The Life of Pi, except that the tiger part wasn't really a tiger, but some character played by the voices in my head, who frankly aren't always the nicest people in the world. The truth is that I didn't have a strong support network, not because I didn't look for it, but because I wasn't ready to find it. You can ask all the questions you want, but you'll get nowhere unless you're ready to hear the answers. I've grown to realize that I wasn't the only one who felt this way. I coach a lot of leaders who also ride like the Lone Ranger. You, as a leader, may have convinced yourself you can do it all by yourself, but you're wrong. You can't. Nobody can. Successful leadership takes a village. More importantly, It takes those one or two people who, when it's needed, will help you hide the body. Hypothetically, of course. Regardless of your place in the organizational hierarchy, you're a leader, and all leaders need support. Whether it's a coach, a mentor, or a group dynamic, having a true support network is critical. If you haven't guessed, I use the term true support network in the same sense as I use the terms true friend. Having true support means there's a high level of trust, respect, and transparency. You need to feel safe and be confident that your discussions always take place in the no judgment zone. The relationship should be focused on helping you grow regardless of whether you like the feedback or not. In fact, you aren't going to like all the feedback you hear. No matter how great you are at your job, you'll always have a blind spot when it comes to self-analysis. As quite a few people have said to me, you live your life inside the pickle jar. It's easy to read the label from the outside, but when you're on the inside, you don't have the perspective of seeing things as they are. You need help. I know. Building a true support network takes conscious effort. And gosh darn it if it ain't easier to just escape life and scroll through Insta instead. But I'm here to tell you that it's time to put down Instagram for a few minutes because finding a true support network is critical for your growth. Finding a true support network doesn't have to be difficult. Here are some places you could look. Leadership coaches, networking groups for people in your career, previous bosses, online mentorship groups, others who've already accomplished what you're trying to do, or go to the best leadership community ever at bytitleonly.com and click community. Just don't make the same mistake I did. To have a true support network, you have to be willing to find it. The most common thing that gets in the way of finding leadership support is fear. You may not even know the right questions, but you have to be ready to hear the answers anyway. If you're like the younger me who was too scared to address the things I needed the most help with, here's a suggestion. Start the conversation with a potential mentor like this. I know I need support, but I have to be honest and admit that I'm scared to address my weaknesses. I wouldn't even know where to start. A true support network will embrace that and help you dig deeper. The ones who aren't the right fit will put down their shovel and turn away. And you know what? Once you find somebody you think might be good, here's 7 questions you should ask yourself. Do I trust them and do they trust me? Do I respect them and do they respect me? Will they make a regular commitment to be there for me? Will they keep our conversations confidential? Will they give me constructive feedback even though I may not like it? Will they hold me accountable for doing the hard things? And do they subscribe to the Best Leadership Podcast ever? That last one isn't required as much as highly recommended, but hey, once you find the right support network, whether it's an individual or group of people or the community that you can find at bytitleonly.com, your whole world can change practically overnight. That's how impactful it should be. After all, everybody needs somebody who can help hide the body. Thanks for listening. If you like this, please give it 5 stars. Leave a review. It really means a lot and helps this podcast. If you ever want to talk about anything coaching related, leadership related, drop me a line, leadership@bytitleonly.com. I appreciate you, my friend. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.